Here are 5 neighborhoods where buyers are overpaying in Miami. In Miami, overpriced rarely looks ugly. It usually looks clean, convenient, and easy to fall in love with. But the markup shows up when you pay for the neighborhood label or the tower name before you verify the math, the building risk, and your resale lane. And right now, a lot of these areas are not even selling at full sticker, which is exactly why overpaying is optional. When you look at what buyers pay versus what they actually get after HOA, insurance, condo compliance costs, and resale competition, a clear pattern emerges. In this video, I'm breaking down the 5 neighborhoods where buyers overpay the most, why the trap in a high-rise zone is different than a prestigious house pocket, the comparison moves to get the same lifestyle for a better price. I'm Milton Andrade. I help buyers make Miami decisions with a risk-first lens. Flood, insurance, and condo docs before you commit. Number 1, Brickell, the label trap. Brickell is the easiest place in Miami to emotionally overspend. They call Brickell the Manhattan of the South. And you have Brickell City Center, the Metro Mover with easy ways to get out and about. The walkability of everything is close. You have international buyer energy everywhere you look. And it's just the place where if you want to be in the center of everything, you want to be in Brickell. It feels powerful to buy here. And a lot of my foreign national clients from all over the world, they love that they own an apartment in Brickell, in Miami's Manhattan. But right now, units are selling below list price. Paying full price right now is ignoring your leverage. You need to keep in mind the Florida milestone inspections. You need to keep in mind the building financials and what's being built next door that could definitely affect your view. There's just a lot of different variables that one should consider when buying in an area as dense as Brickell. So, what is a good alternative? The master plan community of Midtown. Midtown was previously Hudson Yards of Miami. You see, things changed in the late 80s and early 90s, and Wynwood was the manufacturing epicenter of Miami. And Midtown, which was just north of that, is where all the trains would go to pick up the products to take it to the port. And so for the longest time, Midtown was just an empty lot where a lot of old train tracks and old trains just sat. But today, you have multiple towers, and it's a master plan community. So the towers are stacking themselves so you're not looking directly at a tower. That really makes sense, especially from a master plan point of view. That's not something that you get in Brickell. But you've got great walkability, you've got shops, restaurants, and you're also close proximity to the design district. Right off the highway, right off of the 836 to the 195 junction, which gets you right to the airport, right to Miami Beach. And Midtown is only now starting to have the labels. You have 2 Midtown, what used to be 3 Midtown, which is actually Hyde, residence, condo, and hotel. You have 4 Midtown, you have mid-block, and you have the standard residences. There's a new construction coming over there, which would have been 1 Midtown, and the others are plenty of apartments complexes, all in the same kind of vibe. So you have the cohesion of a master plan community with high rises that are not too busy, not too dense, great walkable, great location without the hustle and bustle of Brickell. So if Brickell is your flavor, but you want it a little more muted, then Midtown Miami is for you. Number 2, South Beach. South Beach is emotional buying at its highest level. With the Art Deco charm, we have the most Art Deco buildings in the world in Miami Beach, the vacation energy, the global brands, and the ability to say that I live on the beach. South Beach is a dream if you want to live on the beach. Now, let's contrast that with the ownership reality. Right now, the sale to list price is below 100%. It's not a hot seller's market. And assessments matter when you're looking at older buildings. You know, there's higher compliance exposure. So, there's a rule. If the buildings are weak and the unit is overpriced, no matter how good the finishes look, it's not the right buy. So what's the alternative? Well, I like North Beach. North Beach and South Beach are 2 completely different beaches. North Beach has a different flavor, less touristy, a lot more locals. We have a huge Brazilian population and Argentinian population. So a lot of foreign nationals, but also no tourists, very, very little tourists. You'll have new that's coming up, but for the most part, just as much of the Art Deco flair, much more stable ownership base, less party-driven turnover, and this is a much cleaner long-term hold play because North Beach is popping off. There's billions of dollars of investment improving the area, so you can get there early before things really become more like South Beach. It has parks that are very accessible for everybody, and it's walkable. Great beaches, the same water and the same sand that you get on South Beach, but with less crowds and fewer high-rise volatility. Because as you do have some construction going on, it's just not everywhere, right? You still have a lot of low-rise, and it's got a really great neighborhood vibe. So if you love the beach, but you want something a little more stable, less touristy, then North Beach is for you. Number 3, the roads, the status trap. The roads is where people pay for proximity and prestige. The roads is beautiful, wide streets, great tree canopy, historic charm, right on the edge of Brickell. It's got old Miami energy. But let me tell you, it's a beautiful place, but I got priced out. And I'll tell you how that happened. In late 2021, early 2022, I had a home in contract in the roads, and the seller inherited the home. So it was basically a probate sale. After 60 days of waiting, and I was ready to close, the seller comes to me and says, so my brother decided that we don't want to sell the house. She never mentioned the brother. She never mentioned anything. Meanwhile, the houses were going up in value at a ridiculous pace. The inventory was dwindling, and I had no recourse. So what did I do? I found the next best thing. I live in Shenandoah. Shenandoah is a neighborhood that is just west of the roads, but it is north of Coral Way. And south of Coral Way, it's called Silver Bluff, but effectively, it's the same neighborhood. So Silver Bluff and Shenandoah. That's the alternative to the roads. You have the same kind of architectural era, mid-century modern, some Art Deco, a couple of new modern properties. Same commute. I am 1.5 miles to Coconut Grove, 5 minutes to Brickell, walking distance to Little Havana, and right off the highway. And you have less of a markup, better value per square foot. And my lot is 8,500 square feet, which for Miami standards is a humongous lot. Also, not a flood zone. So you get all the charm of the roads. The roads are not as wide, but you get a huge savings and same neighborhood. So if you're looking for a house in the roads where you're gonna spend over $1.5 million for something that might need $400,000 to $600,000 in renovation, you might wanna look at Shenandoah or Silver Bluff, because the label is not gonna fix the layout problems or the rehab that it needs. Only pay the roads premium if the exact street or lot is non-negotiable in your life. So the alternative of Shenandoah and Silver Bluff is perfect, really close, and has all the benefits. Number 4, Coconut Grove, or what I call the scarcity trap. Scarcity is not the same as guaranteed upside. Coconut Grove is a gorgeous neighborhood. The tree canopy is unmatched. It has a village feel, Cocoa Walk in a nice little downtown, great private schools, and it really just pulls at your emotional heartstrings. It is a gorgeous place to live. But let's slow down and let's pivot to logic. Micro-location matters massively. Northeast Grove and Southwest Grove are two completely different things. Properties sitting over 100 days, nearly impossible to find in the Grove. Things are selling below list price, but it's a very active market. Low inventory does not necessarily equal urgency though. You have to find the right property that's a good fit for you and your family. Don't overpay to be on a B-tier street just because it's inside the Grove. I wouldn't settle for South Grove if North Grove is really what you want. It's a completely different neighborhood. Let me give you an alternative. The Village of Biscayne Park. Walkable, friendly, it's got a lot of charm, and great architecture. It's very similar to the Grove, but with larger lots, for the most part. Great mid-century modern charm, and a couple of new 5,000 plus square foot estates. It is a beautiful little town with its own police force, great schools. It is close to everything. It has the rural charm, no commercial zoning. It is a beautiful place to live, great landscape, great streetscape. Similar to North Coconut Grove, it doesn't have sidewalks, right? You're walking through the grass, you're walking through the trees. It is a really special place to live. And I'd say if Coconut Grove is your vibe, you should also check out Biscayne Park. Number 5, Coral Gables, the Prestige Trap. Coral Gables is one of the most beautiful master planned communities stemming from the 1920s in Miami. It's driven by a reputation of being exclusive. It is where the City Beautiful was invented. You have the Miracle Mile, which is a great shopping strip. It's walkable to everything. You have historic districts, and it's a status symbol to say, I live or own in Coral Gables. But don't forget, when you have homes that are sitting more than 120 days on the market and renovation costs that are huge right now, maybe it's insurance is too high or it's in a flood zone, you really have to have a micro location comparison for everything. Where you live matters. If you are looking to buy the name, but you're ignoring the exact block, the flood exposure, you might be overpaying. Here is another area to consider. If Coral Gables is your vibe, I'd say the Coral Gables of the North, Miami Shores. Miami Shores has got central location. It's close to the highway, close to the beach. It's got a beautiful downtown. It's like one of the first walled, gated neighborhoods. Now, don't get me wrong. It doesn't have a gate, so to speak, but there are walls that give a perimeter of Miami Shores. Why did they do that? Because similar to Coral Gables, they want to restrict the amount of traffic that flows in from one way or the other. So it is beautiful, walkable. You can't replace trees that are over 100 years old and these huge estates that they have in Miami Shores. Miami Shores also, just like Coral Gables, has a country club and a golf course. It is a beautiful, beautiful town with a nice downtown area with shops and restaurants. It's not as big as the Miracle Mile, but it is a downtown that is just for Miami Shores. They have their own police force, their own fire department. Living in Miami Shores is living in class. It is a beautiful town where everybody knows each other, but it's not small, right? It's not compact. It has flavor and flair. And Miami Shores is going to differ in the north side, in the south side, in the east side, or the west side. If you are on the east side of the Biscayne corridor by the water, you might want to consider the flood zones, right? If you are closer to the west side, you may be a little bit too close to the highway. So micro-location matters in Miami Shores as well. But if Coral Gables is your vibe, and you're priced out, or you want to have more options, then definitely consider Miami Shores. The point isn't to avoid neighborhoods, it's to avoid paying a premium when the math and the leverage don't support it. If you're looking at Brickell, Downtown, Edgewater, Coconut Grove, or Coral Gables right now, use the link in the description to schedule a quick call. Before you commit, I will help you run a clean side-by-side comparison. What the comps actual support, what your negotiation leverage looks like, what the true monthly cost is once HOA insurance and building risk are included. And if you're buying a condo, we will treat building documents as part of the purchase decision. Florida's milestone inspections and structural reserve requirements can directly impact your wallet. I'm Milton Andrade. I cover Miami neighborhood by neighborhood, and I'll tell you exactly what buyers are doing in your price range right now. Let's make sure you're buying value, not just a label.